Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the virtual Talladega Super Speedway for race number 3 of the Dega Pros Little Guys Series. Here as we hit the halfway point of our second season. You are watching tonight's race live on the Hickory Racing Network. My name is Dawson Wise. Glad to be back with everyone here once again tonight. Guys are running their qualifying laps, and while they do that, we got about 90 seconds. I'll introduce my broadcast partner again tonight. My partner in crime the last few weeks. He's back with me again here tonight on the microphone, Mr. Michael Triscaro. Mike, how you doing? What are you expecting out of tonight's race?
I'm doing good as always, man. Just expecting some more of the big teams to make some noise. Looks like we got 10 KSR drivers, 8 Hyper drivers, 6 McCullough drivers. We got a new team tonight, Wolfpack. Looks like they got 4 guys, so look for one of those big teams, obviously, to dominate per usual, but I got some picks actually coming from the smaller teams tonight, so I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm absolutely looking forward to it as we hit race number 3 of this 5-race series. And while we have a second, we will get you some information. You see the qualifying times. They're going to flash across your screen on the left side. We got 34 trucks, I believe, in the field tonight, so another big field. But while we have a second, I'll tell you who has already advanced into our final race, the end of the season. You advance by virtue of a top 3 finish. And after last week, we had 3 more drivers lock in. So that makes 6 guys locked into the final race at the end of the season. And those drivers are David Sheets, our winner from week number 1, Ron Morris, and Michael Menchaca. And then from last week, our winner, Dustin Carruthers, advances into the final race, along with his teammate, Trevor Osbornoth for KSR. And then another McCullough Motorsports entry, that would be Devin Ray. So 6 guys are locked in. 3 more could lock their way in here tonight over the course of the next 27 laps. And we are about to see who's going to get the job done here tonight from Talladega. A little bit of a late start. I know it's late, but hey, only 27 laps on tap. Kind of a perfect length for this late at night. And we are ready to put them on the grid as we get ready to go here from Talladega. We'll let the grid start to fill up with these drivers. And we'll see who we can find first on the grid. It's going to be Nash Brambilla in the 87. Good to see Nash in the field tonight as he rolls off from third. But we'll get you the full grid here for the Dega Pros Little Guys Series, race number 3 from Talladega. And here we go, the starting grid from tonight's race. On the pole, a quick time of 55.945 out of Hyper Motorsports. How about Richard Elliott in the 02? He runs quick time here in tonight's race. He just got on the grid. We'll pan up here to him, to his outside. It's the KSR entry of Ryan Based in the 73. Row 2 would be Nash Brambilla, like I just talked about, in the 87. And to his outside would be the Hyper Motorsports entry of Heath Job. Row number 3 will be Aubrey Thompson in the 38. And his outside, John Darnell, another strong qualifying effort with the driver of the 34 on the racetrack tonight. I believe it will still be the 99 on his truck, but the 34 in the race scoring tonight. KSR's Trevor Osbornoth, he's locked in, so not too much to worry about tonight besides some payouts and helping his teammates. He'll roll from 7th. Devin Ray to his outside, he is locked in as well. He'll roll from the 8th position, and rounding out the top 10 tonight, Tim White in the 239 and Logan York in the 01.
Yeah, and 11th, we got Joshua McCullough Motorsports. I know he's finished runner-up in this race quite a few times. He's knocking out that door at that first position. Harrison Whitehead, he'll start in 12th. From Team Wolfpack, you got Kenny Stamper. Will start 13th. Sean Corbett, another Wolfpack member, he'll start 14th. David Sheets will start 15th tonight, and Thomas Parker from KSR will start 16th. Danny Barnes will start 17th with Ron Morris Jr., McCullough Motorsports in 18th. Michael Menchaca, another guy qualified into the season finale championship, he will start 19th. And rounding out your top 20 will be Zach Range.
Row 11 is KSR's Dustin Carruthers, last week's winner, and to his outside, Nick Warner in the 3. Row 12, Justin Mills in the 27 and Jack Hignite in the 07. Kenneth Gallman rolls 25th with Bobby Forbes to his outside in the 5. It'll be Adam Ford 27th with Austin Green, the Green Ghost, behind him in 28th. Row 15, Mark Mondell and Derek Raleigh. Good to see Derek in the field tonight. I'll go ahead and finish out the field. We do have some guys that did not make the trip to the grid. Cole Fitzpatrick rolls 31st, the last guy to take a time. Brock Westmoreland is in the field as well. And several guys, I think, did not make the grid. I'm trying to see who those guys are. It looks like there's only one that didn't make the grid, and that's because Mike is in as a driver, but he's up here with me. So the last 2 guys on the grid here tonight are going to be Michael Clay in the 33 and Tucker McClendon in the 20. So that's your starting grid, 34 trucks deep tonight. What a great field here on a Monday night. I'm glad you have joined me, and we are getting ready to put them under the green flag. Before we do that, though, Mike, you said you had some picks. Lay them on us. Who you got in tonight's race?
Yeah, even before qualifying, I had them written down before the race. My pick to win is PGR's Nash Brambilla. I get a lot of time with him driving in these super speedways, and he doesn't race as much, but I'll tell you what, when he does race in FEG, PGR, it's a truck that is always in the front. Has a little bad luck here and there, but Nash Brambilla is going to be my pick tonight. And a dark horse, I'm kind of a homer tonight with the PGR guys, but John Darnell finished runner-up on Thursday night in PGR, got that cash, and I'll tell you what, he got another cash last night. That guy is on a mission, man, and he's just making his way to the front, staying there, and you know, I'm going PGR tonight to upset the field.
Well, the PGR driver certainly a good showing in qualifying. John Darnell, like you said, man, he's on a streak. He's starting to pick up steam, really hitting the momentum, and now a perfect opportunity tonight, riding that wave to try to get the momentum going really in the right direction, locking into that last race. 34 trucks have made the trip to Talladega, and they will try to race their way into that final race at the end of the season. Here we go. Into the restart zone they come, all behind Richard Elliott of Hyper Motorsports. Green flag is in the air. We are racing from Talladega and off towards turn number 1. These guys start to get formed up, start to get in line, start to find their first moves. Elliott has the lead. Ryan Baste wants it on the outside. Bit of a different look for that Ryan Baste machine. We'll have to get used to it. No surprise, he's up front early, bottom rolling. Not for long. Here comes Ryan Baste. He'll go to the lead for the first time on the super stretch.
Yeah, no 3-wide action yet. Just double file here, as it should be here in early going here at Talladega. But, man, there is a lot of different paint schemes here tonight. I know it's Halloween. John had put out a little contest tonight. So we're going to have to check out some of these Halloween schemes, man, because they look awesome tonight here under the Talladega nights here. Well, hopefully night one day, but let's see here. What do we got? The 11? Is that Dustin? That's Ryan Baste you set up there in the front?
Yeah, that's Ryan Baste. He's the 73 on our scoring monitors, but he will have the number 11 across his truck. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Just some kind of other paint scheme going tonight for Ryan Baste, but regardless, we'll figure it out. Obviously, our scoring advanced enough. We can tell that's Ryan Baste. We'll figure it out eventually. And still, everybody too wide. Everybody kind of trying to find their groove here early on. Lap 2 on the board. And down the backstretch still all Baste, Elliott, Joe Brambilla doing an excellent job of pushing. Nobody really forcing the issue. Now they're 3 wide further back, but it did not last long. And it goes back down to 2 wide. And you would think the aggression would be a little bit higher than it is, being halfway into the season tonight. But nonetheless, we're going to stay 2 wide for now. Everybody in lockstep formation. I'm not sure if anybody's going to make a move out quite yet still. Man, Ryan Baste and Richard Elliott, they're loving this. They're getting to click off laps, trading laps at the front of the field, and this is exactly what you want to see if you're one of those 2 drivers here.
Yeah, doing an excellent job of just staying in their lanes, and they got really good pushers behind them, and Heath Job and Nash Brambilla. So, I mean, obviously those 2 guys are veteran guys. They're not looking to push the envelope here too early. But we do have some guys pushing it. We got 3 wide, about mid-pack right there, and it looks like Logan York's pulled out. So, yeah, look for some guys to make it 3 wide here early and try to get to the front and get that track position.
Well, I think Logan had anticipated that Josh McCullough would go with him. Holy cow, some kind of issue here at the front. Trouble.
Oh, we got
around goes a couple of them, and up into the catch fencing goes Logan York. And this is a big wreck. This is a lot of trucks. 1 truck on its side. I can't quite tell which truck that is. Devin Ray's involved, Bobby Forbes, Adam Ford. Cole Fitzpatrick, Mark Vondell get a piece of it there at the end. Justin Mills is involved. John Darnell is involved. Looks like Ron Morris. Man, huge damage to the 76. He is destroyed. Looks like maybe Nick Warner as well. Wow, that happened all of a sudden. I got back up front, and man, all of a sudden we piled up a ton of them, and right around Logan York and I believe John Darnell.
Yeah, it looks like Keith, he was pushing the 11 there. The 11 went up the track. Heath kind of followed him. John Darnell gets into Heath, kind of checks up that middle line, And as soon as he checked up that middle line, man, they start turning and turn Trevor Ashburnoff, unfortunately, on the bottom. Innocent bystander gets in that, and it's the classic checkup here at Talladega.
We're going to take it back a few more seconds, see what triggered this wreck. It's a pretty good angle. Yeah, there's the stack up. I'll tell you what, I don't know. Check on the left side of your screen. Richard Elliott blinks out. And as Nash Brambilla, oh, well, it spooked Ryan Bass. That's what it was. Ryan Bass got a little bit scared, I think, right there that maybe Elliott was going to warp back up the track a little bit when he came back, and it stacks up the middle line. Devin Ray, obviously nothing he can do. He gets turned by his teammate Josh McCullough. They collect Trevor Osbornoff. Kenny Stamper is involved. What a hit to the outside wall. Good grief. York actually up all the way into the catch fencing. Justin Mills gets turned. Looks like the 51 as well. Thomas Parker, he's involved in it. Josh McCullough gets a piece of this. York flies off. He's going to barrel roll once, end up on the lid. Darnell slides on his side about halfway down the front stretch, it felt like here. There's Fitzpatrick getting involved. And there's more trucks involved. Sean Corbett's in it. Menchaca is in it down there at the bottom left of your screen. This stacked up in a hurry. This is a lot of trucks.
Oh, yeah, I'm still counting them. I got Nick Warner in that. I'm looking at the 71. Yeah, Derek Rowley. Oh, my God. I mean, they're all over the place, man. That's going to be quite a bit of fast repairs here early, and hopefully some guys, man, they're going to have to just kind of chill out in the back. We still have a little bit of ways to go here, and we've got a lot of torn up race trucks here tonight.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly where everybody's going to end up here in this one. Looks like, man, look at the ride that Logan York takes in this incident. Looking further back, looks like Kenneth Gallman is involved as well. There's another truck back there. I can't quite tell. It's David Sheets, our winner from race 1. There's the Gallman truck, I believe. Carruthers, I think, is also involved in the 10. I think that was Dustin Carruthers there at the right side of your screen that also gets a piece. This is a lot of heavy hitters. I didn't realize quite how many of our bigger team trucks were involved in this wreck early on in this race. That's at least 3 KSR trucks that I counted, at least 4 McCullough trucks that I counted. And then obviously you have John Darnell, Mark Vondell. Man, that's 5 McCullough trucks that were involved in that one.
Yeah, I'm riding actually on board with Adam Ford there. I mean, if you get a chance to show the viewers that, what a crazy scene out of his front windshield there. Was able to avoid most of it, but at the very tail end of that, it looks like he was spun after he practically cleared everything. So just he was all the way to the wall there after he kind of got through that mess. And unfortunate for him, it looked like the 22 of Devin Ray, and not the Devin's fault, just kind of plowed right into him. So had literally nowhere to go in these big wrecks like that.
Well, we had to take more than one look at that one, as that was a lot of trucks further back. So if I've counted right, it's 5 McCullough trucks, 4 KSR trucks, 3 or 4 KSR trucks, one from PGR. Looked like 4 Hyper trucks as well. That's, when you talk about big teams, that's all of them right there. They got caught up, swept up in that incident. So, man, we got to restack the field in a big way here. That is re-racked our front of the field big time. So Richard Elliott, Nash Brambilla, they're still out front. Same with Ryan Bass. But Aubrey Thompson all of a sudden now runs in the 4th position in the 38. Heath Job, Tim White, they're pretty big winners out of that. Kenny Stamper actually got involved in the wreck and still is going to be in the 7th position here. It looks like Harrison Whitehead will line up in 8th. And then Zach Range and Austin Green, man, they benefited big time out of that caution as they go to 9th and 10th. So all of a sudden, now, I mean, you have to just basically reset. Now that we're only 5 laps in, that took out a very large part of the field. And as a driver, especially if you're a guy that got in the wreck right there and got big damage, had to use a fast repair, it throws you off in a really big way, I think.
Yeah, it absolutely does. I'm actually on board here with Brock Westmoreland, the heating and cooling truck, that number 4. I got a chance to speak with him earlier today, 32-year-old from Greenville, Tennessee. And, he told me, he's like, listen, I just want to get to the front and stay there all night and go for the win. And I thought that was a great plan. And especially after seeing what we just saw, if you could just stay in front, I know anything could happen, but that's probably the best view you have here at Talladega. But even more so than just iRacing. The dude, Brock, he's a good guy, loves to camp, loves to kayak, says he bets on sports, rides motorcycles, seems like a outdoorsman, and obviously it's fitting that he loves racing. So hopefully we can see that 4 keep climbing up in 12th now, and looking to crack that top 10 and hopefully get up there first.
Good to hear a little bit about Brock Westmoreland, one of the true journeymen of the money racing scene. Man, you see him a lot. You see him almost every night that I am up here in the booth or that I'm on the racetrack. I've gotten the chance to race against Brock a lot, and he is certainly one of the better ones out there, especially tonight. He's in a really good spot. Green flag back in the air here with 21 laps to go. Richard Elliott has Ryan Baste behind him. We've seen some connection issues here for the 0-2, so we'll see how this pans out. You see Kenny Stamper bails immediately to the top. He wants some options here as to what he does. That's going to give a nice push here to Nash Brambilla in the 87 as he looks for some help from Aubrey Thompson. For now, it's all Richard Elliott. You know, Ryan Baste, he's shoving hard. He gets Elliott clear, but not for long. Brambilla trying to hang right on the door of the 0-2, down the super stretch and off into turn 3. Not enough of a push, so he's trying to wait on Aubrey Thompson to give him a little bit more. And off into 3, still all Richard Elliott in the 0-2. Off 4, would Ryan Baste get clear? Not quite. The top searches again. Here comes Nash Brambilla.
Yeah, Richard Elliott doing a great job tonight, holding the pretty wheel. You would think that Ryan Baste is getting a little hot here as Aubrey Thompson comes to the back of Nash Brambilla, and it's going to be Richard Elliott at the line and leading some laps tonight as that Elliott machine. He looks very, very strong.
Couple trucks up against the wall further back. That's Dustin Carruthers and Trevor Osbornoff. So it was not Carruthers that I saw get involved in that incident. I was looking for his normal paint scheme. The KSR guys actually going a little bit of a Halloween take tonight as a team. You see all their trucks looking a little bit different than normal. And Austin Green says, I want some of that. He goes out there to lead the third line in front of Carruthers. This line all of a sudden now I think is going to move. That's some of the better drivers up there as Brock Westmoreland joins the party as well. There's another driver going up there. Let's see if they can get formed up. Elliott's lost his help. Ryan Baste to the outside in front of Nash Brambilla. Baste to the lead. Nash is going to give him a nice shove through the tri-oval. Baste will get clear of the bottom. Let's see if he takes it. He does. And now it opens the top once again to Brambilla. Third line starting to roll. Here comes Austin Green.
Yeah, Austin Green, man, I'll tell you what, he might broadcast a lot of races, but he's a darn good racer. He races in the college series, and I think he said he was 13th in points in that, and he is an excellent super speedway racer, man. That guy is great. Here he goes, and I'll tell you what, that Trevor Ashburnoff, you were talking about those Halloween paint schemes, he's got tombstones on the back of his truck, and a rest in peace to Hyper, rest in peace to NBG, Team McCullough. Yeah, he's poking fun at a lot of the teams tonight, so anyone getting a ride behind him's getting a good laugh right there.
Yeah, that was a fun thing to see earlier. Obviously, when he was showing that off to me a little bit earlier on in the day, it was a little funny thing. It's all in good fun. It's these guys poking fun at each other. It's not an actual beef because it is the Halloween holiday tomorrow. So paying tribute to that is Trevor Osbornoff tonight in the 89, and yeah, that's creative. It's funny, and I'm sure a lot of guys have gotten a nice laugh throughout the day. Third line, meanwhile, is the ones laughing right now. Austin Green has made his way even with the front row, and all of a sudden, if Richard Elliott is down, no contact between Elliott and Brambilla and Green. They keep it together somehow, or do they? Oh my goodness, we're still out of shape trouble. Ryan Baste around, Carruthers and Osbornoff are in it. We're going to stay green for the moment. I don't think this race is going to stay green for very long. I imagine we will get a yellow flag right here. Everybody's still on the gas pedal, I haven't seen a caution yet. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I have not either. Oh, there it is.
There it is. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I was waiting on it. You saw what happened there in the middle of the field. We're actually going to have to kind of back this one up a little bit, I think, to find exactly what happened here. I'm trying to get a decent place to back us up to, but the yellow flag does come out here with 17 laps to go, and you kind of saw it happening right there in the middle of your screen. It was actually really convenient as the third line got to the front. We saw the contact between Richard Elliott, Nash Brambilla, and the outside line trucks of Carruthers and Green. And we'll go take a look here off of turn number 2. See if we can get a little bit better angle than that. Here we go. Elliott in the middle. He's got help from Brambilla. Carruthers is helping the 36 of Austin Green. Went off turn 2. Still nothing yet. Maybe an off-center push. Nash goes to follow that truck up the hill. Gets him a little bit to the right at the same time. Actually, no. Nash Brambilla, I think, was just trying to get lined up with the 0-2. Makes contact with Austin Green. These guys keep it straight. And they start to scramble. This was a wild scramble here all the way down the backstretch. See Nash get out of line. He has to bail, and then Ryan Baste. There it is right there. He gets turned. We'll go back and get a better look at this as well, and you'll see the 11 overall, the 73 of Ryan Baste. He's going to have some help here, I believe. Let's see. Here goes Nash. You're going to see Nash drop along the bottom. Causes Ryan to have to check up. He has to get into brakes. And it's going to get some help from Heath Job. Up the racetrack he goes. They collect Aubrey Thompson. Trevor Oswernoth involved. Nowhere for him to go. Same with Carruthers, innocent bystanders. But I'm pretty sure that's the only incident we actually had there. Unless I'm missing something. I think it was just this, but the field was so spread out and chaos was going on through the field that obviously a caution was pretty well necessary by the time we got off turn number 4.
Yeah, I think Nash, it looked like he was clear. I'm not sure exactly what he was thinking there. It was very close. As soon as he came over the nose of Ryan Baste there, it probably checked Ryan way up. Heath was trying to avoid getting to the back of Ryan Baste, and he had range pushing him, so it was almost like the pusher pushing the pusher, and by that time, Heath had nowhere to go. It's just one of those things like we talked about earlier. Those checkups here at Talladega, and there's nowhere to go, and they tried their best to stay in line, and it's inevitable situations like that.
Yeah, the checkup you see right there is Baste kind of has to bail out of the throttle and then has to kind of hang a left just to not hit the 87, and unfortunately it stacks the lineup behind him. He gets turned, and you see these 4 bounce off the wall. Brock Westmoreland, front row seat to that one in the 4. Good night. How did he not get involved in that? He had a front row seat. Zach Range, man, he was loose on the apron right there. I think he gets it righted, though. He does. Looks like he keeps it going straight. There actually is another truck off in the back. That's Michael Menchaca. I'm not sure what happened there, but it seems like he may have just gotten out of shape trying to get on the brakes at the tail end of the field.
Yeah, that was a great move by Brock Westmoreland to brake there and then accelerate again to avoid that wreck. Very awesome car control by him, and that's what you like to see, from this series. Is these guys just continuing to get better each week, and we talk about this too, wreck avoidance, and wreck avoidance is critical at Daytona, critical at Talladega, and obviously critical into cashing in these money events. So awesome job by him to have all those trucks kind of wrecking and hitting the wall in front of him, for him to be able to brake and then kind of reaccelerate through there. Just an awesome job by Brock Westmoreland.
And so we will re-rack the field once again here with 15 laps to go. We'll see where everybody cycles out. Race leader still Richard Elliott, but it is outside now. Going to be Austin Green in the 36. Austin's gotten to the front now. What can he do with it? He actually does happen to be running his College Series paint scheme here tonight in the 36 for Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. So good to see that paint job. It's a really sleek paint job for the College Series that he got cooked up for this season. And that truck finds itself out in the front of the field. Row 2 going to be Nash Brambilla and Zach Range. How about the 043? His first trip to the front of the field so far, and he'll be outside of row number 2. Harrison Whitehead having a nice run as well. He's 5th. Heath Job's still up front in 6th. We just talked about Brock Westmoreland. He's actually going to be 8th on this restart. And 7th will be Michael Clay in the 33. Tim White, Jack Hignite kind of watching on from 9th and 10th. Trying to see where the rest of this one goes. We're about halfway home. I want to take a second before we go green here. Thank everybody for coming out. Devin Ray, always good to see him. He's also on the racetrack. He's 13th. And we'll see if he can get it done once again. He got into the final race last week. John Mullahan as well. Good to see it, John. He's obviously pulling for McCullough Motorsports here tonight. They've got several trucks in the field once again. And so thank you, everybody, for coming out. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And If you're just joining me, man, this is the Little Guys series here on late Monday nights. Top 3 in each race can advance to a final race with up to 15 drivers for a big pot of money. But we do have some money to pay out tonight as well. 50 to first, 40 to second, and I believe 30 to 30 to 30 or 20, and that will scale up tonight with the big field. So we're not sure what that is, but it's more than what is posted. So some money on the line there as well. Richard Elliott, Austin Green bring us back into the restart zone. Green flag is back in the air from Talladega. 14 laps to go in this one. Here in the Little Guys Series, race number 3, and the outside is going in a big way. Austin Green, Zach Range already out front. Austin thought about leaning to the bottom. Zach Range thought about going up and around him. Decides to stay in line for now, but the outside is going to have a huge run as the bottom is all kinds of dysfunctional here off turn number 2. They hit the super stretch. Austin Green to the lead, Range to second. Here comes Heath Job for third.
Yeah, Austin Green continuing to press. He's going to drop down to the first lane there, let out Zach Range cool. He's got the Richard Elliott. He's probably led the most laps tonight, pushing him now. Very stout truck there. And you got Nash Brambilla there in the third on the bottom. He's been up front all night.
Devin Ray must have heard me talking about him here on the broadcast with him being in the broadcast checks. He goes immediately to the third line. He's got Thomas Parker going with him. The problem is they don't have a third truck quite yet. We'll see if they can get some more help coming to them in the way of one of the trucks behind them. Richard Elliott, meanwhile, is able to clear the leaders, jump back up in front of Range. There's that connection issue we've seen all night. Luckily, everybody able to keep it going straight. Nobody too spooked. You see it again there. Another blink. This one might cost him as he now has to go to the outside wall, and this is probably the smart play, at least for the time being, see if he can get that issue fixed, but almost cost a lot of the field right there with him running right up front.
Yeah, it's a terrible break for Richard Elliott, man. He's been leading practically this whole race. I'm hoping he can get those connection issues figured out here, and looks like he's blinking out a little bit again, but if he can just settle back in and make his way to the front, I'm sure he'll be fine. Hopefully he could get that connection going, but he's doing the smart thing, letting these guys in the front race it out here.
Yeah, an unfortunate deal is he had a fast truck tonight. He had a good run going, but regardless, that connection issue I think was going to cause problems not only for the drivers around him, but also for him, as that was awfully close there when he popped back in front of Zach Range. So we'll have to see if he gets that fixed. It's going to leave Austin Green and Zach Range leading both lines now, as they are able to regain control of the race. Third line starting to make something happen. I can't tell who the first truck is. It might be Devin Ray in the 22. I think it is, and it is. The 22 of Devin Ray. He's got Thomas Parker, Kenny Stamper going with him. The KSR teammates trying to make their way to the front of the field. They may draw a crowd here. They're moving to the front, and they are going to draw a crowd. At least one more truck jumping up there. I think that's Nick Warner in the 3. Now Tim White jumps out there. He wants to lead the third line. Let's see how much they can get rolling. 11 laps to go from Talladega. It leaves the middle wide open for people to fill the gap. And Kenneth Gallman says, well, I don't mind if I do. If you're going to leave it open, I'm going to go take it. He's going to be fourth on the middle line now. Justin Mills, Aubrey Thompson also come through in the third line. As soon as it got together, falls apart here off turn number 2. Now it goes right back to work. Justin Mills, Aubrey Thompson going to work on the outside. They've got Adam Ford with them, the Hyper teammates. Now Heath Job goes out there, and all of a sudden, Hyper Motorsports lined up 1 through 4 on the outside line. Austin Green, he loves to see this as he's able to pull to a pretty commanding lead here off turn number 4.
Yeah, Hyper, man, they are lining up on the top, and they are coming to the front. Awesome teamwork there, led by Heath Job, who's kind of been up front all night. You got Justin Mills, Aubrey Thompson. Oh, and Heath goes into the wall. Big wreck.
Oh, man, Heath Job, a huge hit. And all of a sudden, it's another massive incident here involving several trucks that were just near the front of the field. And a yellow flag is going to come out once again. It's going to be more beneficial to say who wasn't involved. Bobby Forbes, Thomas Parker, Logan York, Justin Mills, Michael Menchaca appears to be involved as well. Nick Warner is involved. Kenneth Gallman, Brock Westmoreland, Tim White. I already talked about Heath Job. Tucker McClendon is involved. Go up further here, try to get an idea of who is involved in this one. There you see the Parker machine. And we're going to go back and take a look. But this started up front when Heath Job in the 760 got turned sideways in front of quite a few trucks, and this was a wicked hit for the driver of the 760. Here's a good look. He tried to clear across Zach Range, was not clear. Man, Austin Green, he's way out of shape. Job head first into the outside wall. That's a huge hit. Man, Justin Mills in the air. All four of those hyper trucks are involved in this crash. Michael Clay, Kenneth Gallman, Jack Hignite, Sean Corbett, Devin Ray, all pile in. Job actually was vaulted over a row of trucks. That was a wild incident to watch. Aubrey Thompson, they're involved as well. Looks like Mark Vondell may have gotten a piece of it. Danny Barnes scoots through. Pretty much unscathed, looked like to me in the 7. But this is, I mean, right when we talked about those 4 hyper trucks, all of a sudden now they are junk here in the middle of the trial. And this is just how quick it can all go wrong. We're going to get you an idea of what Heath Job was seeing right here, because I know what he was doing. They come off turn 4 with a little different angle. He's going to get clear of Zach Range right here. And what he's trying to do is just drop down across Zach Range, go to the middle, and control that line, allow his teammates to try to work forward. He knows how good that top line is at this point in time, and you're going to get a really good look at it right here. This is actually a really good camera angle to kind of demonstrate what I'm going for here, what gap he's looking at. So you see him get just, maybe not quite clear, but he thinks he's clear. And he starts to come down. And by now, Zach Range has already driven back to his inside. Westmoreland's kind of pushed him forward. And obviously now he's kind of stuck. And as he goes to correct, gets turned off the bumper of his teammate. And look at how vicious this incident is right here. He gets vaulted up into the air, jumps over top of his teammate Adam Ford, lands on top of, I believe that's Trevor Oswernoth. And then they slide a little further up as well. This is not a good camera angle for that. There you see Gallman, Corbett, Forbes. And look at Danny Barnes. Just slides through and says, oh, well, looks like the seas have parted. And what an incident this is.
Yeah, we've seen 2 massive wrecks tonight, and obviously Heath Job did not want that to happen for himself or his teammates. It looked like, he looked like he was clear for just a split second, but these holes are filled so fast, it might have been in his best interest to maybe wait for that backstretch where that third line gets a big surge down that backstretch to clear middle there. Might have been a little too soon. I know he wants that one back. He was kind of apologizing to everybody here in the chat. He's a great driver, even better guy, and I know he hates to see that, but it does happen, and man, we have seen some big ones tonight.
I'm trying to get a couple of onboards here just to show you. Here's Adam Ford, and you're going to see here when Job gets turned, you can see him up in the air there on the right side. Oh my goodness, almost inside the truck for Adam Ford. Let's get one more look before we go back green. In fact, let's just go on board, I think, with the man himself here, Heath Job, and just show you just how vicious this was and what he was seeing here. You see him start to come down, gets into the outside wall, and look at this. Comes to rest. Actually, not quite done yet. Now just gains control of the truck. Actually gets a piece of Sean Corbett there. I don't know how much control the driver of the 760 had, but goodness, what an incident there for Heath Job. And a couple guys still sitting on pit road with 8 laps to go.
And Austin Green, I'll tell you what, he's leading the field. Zach Range also up there in second. Zach's been a great pusher tonight. Got a chance to speak with him the other day, actually, and I think he's kind of a free agent tonight. He's working with, it looks like Logan York in a room together tonight. So a guy I'm surprised hasn't been picked up. Zach Range has helped a lot of guys get to the front of these money races, and there he is on the front row with Austin Green. And my pick the winner tonight, Nash Brambilla. He's going to be up there in the 3rd spot. So yeah, those guys have been up there, and I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised Austin Green, Nash Brambilla, one of those take the checker flag tonight, because they've been racing really good and they've kept those trucks pretty clean and up front the most of the night.
Yes, they have, but a long ways to go. Still going to be 7 laps to go when we get back under the green flag. If you're just joining us, you tuned in at the right time. 7 laps to go at Talladega, and the top 3 make our final race at the end of the season. This is week 3 of 5 of the Little Guys series, and glad you are joined up with us here tonight. We got some Zach Range fans in the chat. We got some John Darnell fans in the chat. He's got a clean truck. That's what I just saw, and he's going to be coming back to the front. But until then, green flag is back in the air. Once again, we are underway from Talladega, and Austin Green gets a good start, but he's waiting on his help to come to him. Meanwhile, top side, working so far. Zach Range, help from Harrison Whitehead and Richard Elliott, who's returned to the front. We'll see if he's got the connection issues fixed, and a quiet night for Josh McCullough, but now he is in the 8th position. Make it 7th as he pulls by somebody here on the back straightaway. He pulls by the 71 of Derek Raleigh, so Josh McCullough, he may be coming forward. Quiet no longer. Here comes the 05. Harrison Whitehead jumps out there too. That's going to stall the middle line big time. Allows Austin Green to go right back to the race lead. Allows Nash Brambilla to clear up if he wants to in the middle. Richard Elliott still having some connection problems. That's going to stall that middle line even further. And Austin Green, Nash Brambilla, and now Michael Clay may also be clear. Nope, not for long. Oh, close moments in the trial between Range and McCullough. How did they keep it off each other? 6 to go. How about the 99 of Harrison Whitehead going to the lead in turn 1?
Yeah, Harrison Whitehead, that Wolfpack team. Oh, and we got a spin. It's Richard Elliott.
Yep, Richard Elliott in the 02. We knew it was probably going to happen at some point. He goes around and he's going to collect several more trucks here. Looks like Bobby Forbes, Michael Menchaca, Derek Raleigh, maybe Jack Hignite, although his truck looks to be clean. Same with Nick Warner. And this is, I think, just, we'll see, but look to me just like guys going for the same pieces of real estate. We'll try to get a good look at it here with 6 laps to go. We're under the caution once again here from Talladega, and this one is going to start up here around Richard Elliott in the 02. Here you see some contact, so I actually have to back it up here a little bit more and get you a little bit different camera angle so we can understand what's going on. So Richard Elliott running behind Zach Range, running in front of Ryan Baste, who had started to make his way back to the front as well. Range, I didn't even notice the move that Zach Range made to the bottom because I was too busy watching this contact happen between Richard Elliott and David Sheets. Looks like a little bit of right rear neck code as well. Ryan Baste, nowhere to go. Michael Clay, okay, that was an odd look, but I think he gets past it. Danny Barnes, boy. Okay, that's a very odd-looking wreck. Sorry for the quick reaction there. That was just so odd-looking. Danny Barnes, for all intents and purposes, should have been involved in that one and was not. Aubrey Thompson, Kenneth Gallman getting a piece. Tim White, oh my goodness, Tim White with probably the best wreck avoidance of the night there in the 239. There you see Menchaca and Hignite. They spin trying to get on the brakes. Aubrey Thompson there, he slides back down the racetrack. And boy, another one that just seems like two guys going for the same piece of real estate. When you race close, that's what happens. And as a result, Richard Elliott gets out of line and collects several other trucks who just kind of were innocent bystanders.
Yeah, kind of a tough night for Hyper Motorsports. It seems like a lot of their guys have been involved in some of these incidents, just kind of getting out of line a little bit and kind of unfortunately causing these wrecks. And obviously Richard would love to have that one back, just as Heath Job wanted that one back earlier. But I don't know if you did see too on that last restart, it was Tucker McClendon. He actually had hit the wall somewhere there in the back of the pack, so it was kind of a one truck incident, but he had went head on to the wall at the start of the last restart. So issues for him too, going to set him back unfortunately for the night. But there we go at the front. You were talking about him earlier, Harrison Whitehead. We were talking Zach Range, Nash Brambilla, man. Who do you think's going to win this race tonight?
Well, I'll tell you in just a second. I wanted to get this onboard in because I think we all deserve to see it. This is Tim White in the 239. Starts direct. Oh! Aubrey Thompson in front of him. Aubrey Thompson in front of him again. He hangs a left, gets on the gas pedal, gets away from there as quickly as possible. Tim White, that is impressive stuff, as he had a front row seat to that one in turns 1 and 2, and he gets through it and keeps on trucking forward. And now we're back at the front. I'll tell you what, it's so tough. Some of these guys are so tough to pick between. Harrison Whitehead, obviously a popular dark horse pick. He has run well tonight, has speed. But it's tough to pick against a guy like Zach Range, a guy like Nash Brambill. Obviously, you know what Nash has done outside of this series as well. A very established money racer. And I don't think you can really pick against a guy like Austin Green either. He's in a great spot. Granted, he's going to be on the bottom right here, but I think he's got enough laps to go. Well, maybe he may not have enough laps to go. May only be 2 to go, but regardless, I think he finds a way into this one somehow, some way. So I would say if I had to be put on the spot, I'd probably go Zach Range right this second. But then my other pick, I'll take Austin Green. I think Austin Green in a pretty good spot to win this one as well.
Yeah, well, my pick to win tonight, Nash Brambill, he's going to find himself starting second on the bottom. Not sure if you have time for an interview, but if we can, let's see if we can get him up here in the booth.
We can try something quick if you can find him, because I can't.
I got him. I'm going to drag him up here.
And hey, it's your idea, so how about a little interview from the PGR boys up here? Take it away if you can grab him.
Nash Brambill, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you. What's up?
Hey, buddy. Team owner here, Michael Triscaro. It's also so fun to watch some of my drivers doing good in this race. Just so you know, you were my pick to win tonight. And here you go. You find yourself starting in third, second on the bottom. You've been in the front all night. But it's been a lot of Zach Range, a lot of Austin Green. Now we got Josh McCullough up there. What's it going to take to beat these guys, beat them to the line, and where do you see yourself going here in the last couple laps of the race?
Yeah, it's gonna take a good time push and to get out in that second lane. I feel like I've been pushing the whole race in about this inside lane, but if I can just get clear like I did that last restart and get that second lane going and I control that second lane, I think I can get the win.
Well, we'd love to see you get the win here tonight, buddy. It'll be well deserved. Good luck out there, and hopefully we're talking to you here shortly.
Yeah, appreciate it. Enjoy the call. Hope it's all clean and green.
That was Nash Brambill in the 87, and he's pretty calm here. He's confident. You can tell. He said he's been pushing all night. He's ready to get out there and try to lead and go win this race. And it's going to be quite a battle here on this restart as they are matched up with Zach Range and Josh McCullough. Obviously, Josh has a couple teammates lurking here, so perhaps Nash may get an opportunity just by way of the middle line falling apart by the time we get to the back straightaway. I believe this is an organic green-white checkered. I don't think this is going to count for our 3 attempts at a green-white checkered. So the caution came out with 6 laps to go, which means we're going to race this out in regulation here first. And let's see if we can get it back to the line. 2.66 miles to make this race official. Green flag is back in the air, and away we go towards turn 1. Whitehead washing up the racetrack, getting in the door of the 043. Some beating and banging off into turn number 1. This is really rare. Kenny Stamper's down on the apron. He gets it solved. Some contact between Corbett and Westmoreland. Westmoreland's a pinball here. The 4 truck is a pinball in a big way. Kenny Stamper's going to go around. He's on the apron. Does he keep it saved? I think he does. That is going to be a big blow to his chances. Back up front, Zach Range gets to the lead. He's got Josh McCullough with him. Whitehead trying to fight back on the bottom. When do the McCullough boys decide to step out into 3 Range? Decides he's seen enough. Drops down in front of Whitehead. That leaves the top to Josh McCullough. He's got a teammate with him in David Sheets. Off turn 4, coming back to the white flag. Drag race down the front stretch.
Yeah, it's going to be all about temps here, but I know they're going to be, pedal's going to be to the floor. It's going to be no lift pushing around here. Let's see who's going to get back here to the start-finish line, but I'll tell you what, Josh McCullough is going to be in the catbird seat with his teammate David Sheets behind him in the 1.
Yeah, but who decides to go? You got Danny Barnes hanging right in this as well. Does he go 3 wide? He does. Oh, he looked for it. He doesn't. Now he pulls back in line. That actually allows Range to get clear. Will it allow Whitehead to get clear? Range goes up. You got to think McCullough splits him right here. I don't think he stays behind him. He does. Trouble in the back. Never mind. We got to keep it up front. Nash Brambilla all over the 99. Whitehead now goes to the lead. Well, maybe briefly. Here comes Range back to the outside. You got to think Josh McCullough takes a look for this win, right? He's not going to stay behind the driver of the 043. Bottom line coming in the form of Harrison Whitehead. Drag race once again. McCullough to the outside. Hangs Range out to dry. The McCullough trucks are outside. Brambilla and Whitehead on the bottom. All the way home to the checkered flag. Who's going to get the job done? Harrison Whitehead wins at Talladega.
Harrison Whitehead, Wolfpack, man, they were calling it out before the race. Look at that. Nash Brambilla with the push. Harrison Whitehead gets it done. Man, I am happy for that team. Excellent job. Excellent pushes. Staying in line. Man, was that a great finish.
Harrison Whitehead calls his shot before the race and goes and proves it. What a win for the driver of the 99. And just look at some of the names that he beat back to the start-finish line. This is a huge win for that driver. I'll give him a chance to get over here and celebrate. He's awfully slow here on the bottom. I obviously would think he would come around here and celebrate. He's still under power, so I thought maybe for a second he had lost engine power, but just taking his time. I think probably taking this one in. We'll give him a second to celebrate. But, man, just look at some of these names. Josh McCullough, by the way, ends up second in all that, so while he didn't win the race, he does advance into the final race. So finally one goes his way. It feels like he's run up front a lot just for it to not go his way. And Zach Range gets the final spot, so he will lock in, I believe, as well. I don't think he had locked in yet. Nope, he had not. So he is in as well by virtue of this top three. And is he even going to make it to the line? Nope, he's going to burn it down right here in the tri-oval. Harrison Whitehead, your winner from the Little Guys Series race number 3 at the Talladega Super Speedway. And he's going to do a little burnout in the grass. Not even going to the start-finish line. He couldn't wait that long. The driver of the 99 gets the job done here tonight. Your finishing results will scroll on the left side of your screen. But I believe we're going to start with your top 3 interviews because they're all pretty easy to get to here tonight. And we will start with the driver in the 043, the guy that comes home third, and that is Zach Range in the 043. We'll get a word on how he feels about tonight's race. Hey, Zach, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do. How you doing?
Not too bad. What a crazy end to that race there. Coming to the start-finish line, just an unreal sequence, and you find yourself third, and you know, I got to imagine you wished you'd won the race, but hey, at the same time, you're going to be racing for that championship pot at the end of the season, so first of all, take us through that last sequence, and also how you're feeling right about now after a third-place run.
Well, I'm glad I'm locked in now, but that last sequence, man, I thought I had the win right there, and then they jumped up high, and I just started falling back. Whoever that was in that middle line who gave me that huge shove, I really thank them, because that put me back up in contention for the top 3.
Well, you get the job done at least well enough to race for that championship pot here tonight, and you have a bit of a unique perspective. And we talked about this a little bit earlier in the race, and the fact that you're not a member of one of these bigger teams. So, you know, what goes into planning for a race like this when you know you're not going to be on one of those teams with 6 or 7 or 8 guys in the field?
Well, I really just learn from each of them, each team, and take a little bit of information from each, and then put them all together, and then that is my strategy.
Well, certainly an effective strategy for you here tonight. We've seen you run up front a lot. You get the job done here on the podium tonight, and you'll be racing for a championship here in a few weeks. So while we have you for a second, anybody you want to thank or shout out?
I want to thank John Ward for always making these lobbies. I want to thank you for always broadcasting and making us stand on our toes while we're watching. It's always a great broadcast. And I want to thank my dad downstairs for watching all the time. And I want to congrats. I don't know. I'm just so happy right now.
Well, definitely a great effort for you tonight here with a third-place finish. You're going to be in the championship race in a few weeks. And so until then, go enjoy the third-place finish, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
That is the driver that finished in the third position tonight. Moving on to the man who finished second finally had one go his way this week. He's racing for a championship. And Mike, I think you've caught up with the driver that finished P2.
Hey, Josh, how you doing tonight, bud?
How are you?
Not too bad, man. So I'll tell you what, I have seen you finish second a lot of times in this little guy series. Not sure if you've won one of these yet, but I mean, it seems like every single race of this series, you are up in the front, the end, either pushing somebody or getting pushed. Take me through kind of coming out of turn 4 there. It looked like, you had your teammate behind you. You split range there. It looked like it could be the winning move. Unfortunately, those guys were kind of locked on the bottom. But kind of take us through that process there, making that move and going to the checkers.
When I went to go jump up, I thought I was screwed because I only seen my one teammate behind me, and I was really worried because that middle line had a good run. But once they gave me that bump, it pushed me up there. I'm glad I got second. I wouldn't have got it without my teammates.
No, absolutely, man. Your teammates did a great job tonight. Always, it looked like it was the 59 Mark Vondel there. So you had another teammate up there. Looks like you had a good shot, but like I said, those two, trucks were hooked up on the bottom. But, you're locked into that championship race. So I know that's critical going forward for you. What do you think your chances are, in that big race when that happens?
I think I have a big chance of winning it, especially with my teammates.
Absolutely, Josh. Well, you had a great night. Finished runner-up. Hopefully you get the win next week. Anyone you want to thank or shout out tonight?
I want to thank McCullough Motorsports for the help. And I want to thank John Ward for putting the race on. And I want to thank y'all for broadcasting.
Well, thank you, boss. We appreciate you racing, getting to watch you race every week. Doing a great job. Good luck next week, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, man.
Josh McCullough in the 0-5. That's going to leave us with our final man on the podium tonight, the big winner, Harrison Whitehead. Hey, Harrison, it's the boys in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy, guys. How y'all doing?
Man, I'm doing good, but I can't imagine I'm doing as good as you. From all I heard, you guys were calling your shot a little bit, and hey, you're in victory lane now. You're racing for a championship, and you certainly made a statement tonight. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great, Starting this early, I never really, thought I'd be up here in the podium. These guys are really good, so I just really want to thank Wolfpack and everybody for working together today and, putting a great car out there for us.
Well, absolutely, and kind of take us through that. I know that's somewhat of a new operation from what we understand, and, kind of take us through how that came together, and also, what you guys have been able to establish as a team here just in the short time you've been working together.
Yeah, we just took a couple guys that, were kind of all by each other or, all by themselves, didn't really have a team or anything, and they were just fast and put them together, and it's working out pretty good.
Well, it definitely is, and you got to take us through that last sequence. Obviously, really, really insane last couple laps, and obviously you see Josh McCullough make that move on the last lap in 4. He comes up just short, but take us through your perspective of it. You were starting on the bottom on the last restart. What were you thinking coming off turn 4 right there when you saw those guys go 3 wide?
Oh my gosh, just can I get a push from somewhere, please? I was just gonna hug that yellow line all the way to the start-finish line and just hope that I had a push from behind, and sure enough we did.
Well, you do, and now you're in that championship race, and not only that, but you're in victory lane for the first time here in the Little Guys Series. So while we got you here for a second, anybody you want to thank or shout out?
I'd really like to thank Josh McCullough for giving me a chance at the Wolfpack, and just the Wolfpack team in general. We've been practicing and stuff together, and we run pretty good. Like what we got going.
All right, well, thanks for talking to us. Congrats on that massive win. Go enjoy it. You're racing for a championship at the end of the season, and we will see you next week.
Appreciate it, guys.
And there you have it, the driver of the 99, Harrison Whitehead, getting the victory here tonight in race number 3 of the Little Guys Series. We'll take you through your finishing results here briefly, give you an idea of where everybody else finished in this race. Harrison Whitehead gets the victory tonight. He is racing for a championship at the end of the season. Josh McCullough comes up second. He will also be racing for that championship, and they are joined by our 9th driver locked into our final race, and that is Zach Range in the 043. Nash Brambilla comes up a little bit short. He finishes 4th tonight. David Sheets finishes in 5th with Austin Green in 6th. Ryan Bass finishes 7th. Mark Vondel 8th. Danny Barnes finishes 9th. And Sean Corbett rounds out the top 10.
Michael Clay finishes in 11th, while Aubrey Thompson will take 12th tonight. Thomas Parker, KSR, will finish in 13th. with Jack Hignite in 14th. Logan York will finish in 15th. Tim White finishes in 16th place. Nick Warner, the number 3 truck, will finish in 17th, while Derek Rowley finishes in 18th. John Darnell III will finish in 19th, and rounding out your top 20 is Kenneth Gallman.
21st, Trevor Osbornoth for KSR. Richard Elliott finishes 22nd. Bobby Forbes in 23rd. Devin Ray 24th. Michael Menchaca 25th. Brock Westmoreland 26th. Ron Morris 27th. Heath Job 28th. Tucker McClendon 29th. Kenny Stamper rounding out the top 30. I'll go ahead and finish it up real quick just to make things a little easier. Adam Ford finishes 31st. Justin Mills 32nd. Dustin Crothers 33rd. And Cole Fitzpatrick finishes in the final spot here tonight. Well, what a race it was. What a win it is for Harrison Whitehead. Another exhilarating week of little guys racing is in the books. And man, what a week it was.
Yes, it was another week. We had some massive wrecks tonight. Probably took out a lot of good contenders, but awesome to see Harrison Whitehead take the victory. You could just tell in the interview, man, he was excited, happy, great for their newly found team. That's awesome to see. He locks himself in with Josh McCullough and Zach Range. Obviously, I think last week we had Dustin Carruthers, Trevor Ashburnaut, Devin Rea. You got David Sheets, Ron Morris, Michael Menchaca. That's 9 drivers already locked in with 2 to go. And I'll tell you what, man, it's going to be shaping out to be a great finish to this series and probably an even better championship series. So, yeah, we're looking forward to these next couple of races. I know I won't be able to join you next week. I'll be not really on vacation, but, going to be down in Florida doing some work. But I'll definitely be watching because these guys are fun to watch. So, looking forward to that.
Well, they definitely are very fun to watch. That's going to wrap up week 3 of the Little Guys series. We'll be back next Monday night around the same time, 11 or a little after on the East Coast. Count at 11:15 p.m. That's a pretty good time to count on us. Getting going here from Talladega once again for 27 more laps of exhilarating racing. So be back with us next Monday night, late night. Until then, I do not believe we've got any Tuesday night racing tomorrow. I know there was talks that race was going to be delayed for a week, so stay tuned to Ghost Racing Network just in case that race does happen, but I don't believe it is going to happen. So the next thing on tap is going to be Wednesday night. If you are interested in watching some more super speedway racing, some league racing, we've got OP Racing's Wednesday night series. I'll be on the racetrack. If you want to see me try my hand at driving, we'll be on the racetrack with Next Gens in the round of 8 of our postseason over there on Wednesday night. So come check us out. Then Thursday night, the PGR Thursday Night Heat Series returns with the teams picking the format once again. Ironically enough, I think KSR has the format this week. I can't remember off the top of my head who's got the weather, but teams picking the format, the weather, and all of that for this week. So tune in. It's going to be another unique, interesting week. It's not going to be the same as last week, so tune in. That's going to be a lot of fun. And that's, I think, all we got left for this week. And then we're back on Monday night once again. So that's going to do it for us here on the Hickory Racing Network. Thank you to everyone for coming out. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for getting loud in the chat, cheering on your driver. I definitely appreciate you guys all coming out and watching us and listening to us talk to you about racing for a little bit tonight. Until next week, have a great night, everyone. Have a great week. Enjoy your week.